Hey guys, thanks for joining my hike. I'm Kevin, and I gotta be honest with you. I've lived in Los Angeles a long time, and this is the closest I've come to the Hollywood sign. I mean, I've come closer to other Hollywood signs before, like, well, the Hollywood Cleaner sign on Santa Monica Boulevard. I was within 4 feet of that. I could have touched it if I wanted to. Oh, the Hollywood Freeway sign at the Sunset exit. I touched that one. Well, actually, my car smacked into it, but still. But to be this close to the actual Hollywood sign, of course, I'm trespassing today, but whatever. It's very exciting. And we're gonna have an exciting hike today. Oh man. So pull up a chair, strap in, and let's have at it. My hiking buddy today is a YouTube sensation. He hosts his own YouTube channel called Vsauce with over 400 million views. He was the host of Minefield, the YouTube original. I mean, this guy tells it like it is. He's got a very entertaining approach to explaining the whys of everyday, ordinary phenomena, like why is the sky blue? Why does water flow a different way? He covers science, culture, philosophy, and even illusions. He's Jeopardy smart. That's what I'm trying to say. That's right, today we're hiking with Mr. Know-It-All, Michael Stevens. When you go on Vsauce, you're not just spurting out stuff that you happen to know. You research all that, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I hope to learn it myself well enough to hopefully explain it to some people, at least excite as many people as possible about it. The more videos I do, the more I realize how dumb I am. I think that's the whole point of learning.
Yeah.
And I think that over these like 9 years of Vsauce and doing science communication, I've learned how to ask good questions. Like I can really Google just the right thing to get the forum answers to the question that I really have.
But it wasn't always Vsauce, was it?
No, the
Minefield?
first thing I did was political comedy videos.
Really?
I made a channel called Campaign 2008. Pain as in like ouch pain.
Yeah.
And I just remixed found footage from politicians to like make it look like Hillary Clinton farted during a debate, you know?
Yeah, kind of sophisticated stuff.
Yeah, you know, masterpieces.
Yeah.
And those got picked up and talked about, and it was really exciting because I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I was doing theater in Chicago then.
Oh, really?
And so, you know, you could get hundreds of people to see a play, but millions would watch a politician fake fart.
See, I thought that maybe you were a teacher before. I didn't know you were in theater and an actor and things like that.
I was never a teacher, and I'm still not a teacher.
But you're
I'm an
teaching a lot
entertainer.
of people. Yeah, you're.
It's sort of accidentally, we all wind up learning a lot together.
Do you think if you went on Jeopardy, you would do well?
I don't. I'm not really a trivia guy, right? I did audition for Jeopardy once.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. You have to take a little paper quiz, and then you have to fill in a paper about like funny stories about yourself. Like,
Right.
what could Alex banter with you about? And I did not make the cut.
But when people see you, do they think you're like really smart and they have questions for you and they want to ask you everything? And
Yeah, of course, which is cool. I mean, that's what I want. Like, I
Yeah.
want to make curiosity contagious. And then I have the pleasure of being like, I don't know.
you can say that.
Yeah, oh, of course. I really want to make it clear that curiosity is what matters, and that being smart, it's just such a like. So humility is this big theme that I hope people see in Vsauce videos, where I'm like, you know, I'm not ending with, and so here's this answer. I'm ending it with like, wow, can you believe it that we literally inhabit a thing we call a body, and we don't know the etymology of the word body.
Yeah.
Like, fundamentally, we are walking around in a mystery.
What baffles you the most?
I would say it's science, not mathematics. What baffles you?
The one thing that I visit once in a while is the notion of infinity. And it drives me crazy.
Uh-huh.
It's
very interesting that you bring that up. Have you seen the shirt I'm wearing? My shirt is the smallest infinity. This is the newest shirt that we have made at Vsauce.
nice.
A cardinal number
Yeah.
is a number that tells you how many things. Like ordinal means order, like 5th, 6th, 18th. Cardinal means how many, like 12 things, a dozen things.
Huh.
So if you ask, well, how many whole numbers are there? A whole, like a counting number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Right.
7, 8, 9. How many of those are there? What number could you give for it? Because whatever
There's
number you
infinity.
said, there'd be one above it, right?
Yeah.
Well, there is an answer. Aleph Null.
Aleph Null.
That's how many natural numbers there are. It's how many even numbers there are, how many odd numbers there are.
Yeah. Wow. Now your shirt baffles me.
You're welcome.
But you know what I mean? When you're sitting, you're just thinking about infinity and just keep going and going. How can it not stop?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
then
I
you
know.
get-
We are not built to understand it. We
No.
are the most finite things, and maybe the universe is too, which is kind of cool, right? Because maybe everything is finite, and infinity is just this thing we imagined.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah, but what if it didn't end? And physics and the universe are like, but that doesn't happen. And we're like, but what if it did? And then we confuse ourselves.
Yeah. And what if it ended and it was a brick wall? That
I'd
would
be very surprised. I mean, you mean like the edge of the universe?
Yeah. It was just a big brick wall
Well,
with graffiti on it. The most common question in the world is
What?
not what, why?
Why?
Big why.
Why? The why game.
Is there any final answer to why?
No, there isn't.
Because my father has one.
Tell me.
Because I said so.
Because
That's
I said
why.
so. Because I said so. But why did you say so? Right?
Why no two snowflakes look alike?
Two snowflakes could look alike. It's just extremely unlikely.
It would be. You know what gets me? Animals. We look at them as being so common, but they could be like aliens, you know? That's
Wait, what
an
do you
alien
mean? Like
look
they could be.
They look so unlike us.
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
different species.
Yeah.
I mean, even insects and varmints and everything. It's just so they're so like it's like Star
so
Wars.
much variety. It's like Star Wars. You're like yeah, if you were born as an adult right now, you'd look around and go, you got to be kidding me. How are you guys not freaking out about cats? Like this
Yeah.
is the weirdest looking thing.
Did you see the snow moon last night?
No, I saw it the night before, and I figured it's only going to be a fraction of a percent bigger
That's
tonight.
right.
So I got it.
I was the same way. But apparently that's the closest the moon gets to the Earth, right? It's like,
That's what makes it a supermoon, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like 10%, either 10% bigger than average or 10% larger than when it's at its furthest. And they were talking angular distance. Of course, the moon's the same size all the time.
Yeah. It is, but it's funny how that works. The moon could be looking really big, and then you take a picture of it with your camera.
It looks small.
You get back and it's small.
Yeah, I've done an entire video on that and another really weird illusion, which we can't see because I don't think the moon's visible. There's too many clouds. But
Yeah.
it's called the moon terminator illusion. Look it up. I really discussed the whole why do things look bigger when we look at them versus in a camera?
Yeah.
And what's funny is if you see the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time, you'll notice that the lit part of the moon doesn't seem to be facing the sun.
Right. That's right.
It's really weird. And you're like, but wait a second. If the light's coming from there,
It
why
should
is
be.
it lit as if the sun were over
Exactly.
there?
Yeah.
Right? And so I made this video like 6 years ago, so I can't tell you the answer. That's
Yeah.
another important thing. Like I forget stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And you have to just be okay with that.
Yeah.
There's this great Emerson quote where he says, look, I don't remember every book I've ever read, but just like every meal I've ever eaten, they're all a part of me in some way still.
I worked on a cruise ship once as a stand-up comic, and it was a corporate gig. They had another speaker on the boat who was a physicist, Nobel Prize-winning physicist, and he was, I think, German or something. And I sat down and had lunch with him, and I asked him, I said, do you think aliens ever visited our planet?
What do you say?
He said, no, they have not. I said, why is that? He goes, because, and I don't know what he based this on, he said, most civilizations burn themselves out after 100,000 years. And it takes longer than that to develop intergalactic space travel.
Right. First of all, are we prepared if we made contact with extraterrestrial intelligence? Like, are there steps in place? Like, would people panic?
You ever meet anybody that walked on the moon?
Never. No, and there are only a few left. Okay, so I've always wondered who was the first person to touch the moon. Now, sure, Armstrong took the first step, but he had boots on.
Right.
Like he didn't have skin contact with moon material on the moon.
Not a lot of people don't know this, but Neil came out with a full astronaut suit on. Buzz came out with just the bathing suit.
No kidding.
Yes.
So he was the first to touch
was
the
the
moon
first to touch
with
the
his
moon.
skin. I want to ask, who took their helmet off first when they got back into the lander? Because the person who took it off first would have breathed in the actual dust first, and that would be dust contacting lungs, like human tissue touching the moon for the first time on the moon.
Right. How do you think Neil and Buzz looked at each other after they took their helmets off and they got back in the lunar module after walking on the planet? I think it was something like this. Let's try it. You ready?
Yeah.
Take our helmets off.
Okay.
And it's like... I met Buzz Aldrin on the beach in Mexico once, and I went up to him. I said, "Nice to meet you, Buzz. Congratulations, man. It's great."
Did you just come up like out of nowhere?
Well, he was part of a group we were on.
Oh, okay.
And I said, was there any time on your moon exploration trip that you got nervous thinking maybe you may not get off the moon? And he goes, "What are you, a wise guy?" I said, No, I'm serious. I mean, is something ever go wrong? Like, did you think maybe the lunar module wouldn't start up? He goes, "Why wouldn't it start?" See, he's a rocket scientist.
Right.
So he knows everything will work, or he assumes it will.
Do you think that he really never was scared of those things?
I think he had to have been some kind of. I mean, these guys were these Top Gun guys, fighter pilots and stuff. But even when you're out of your element like that, I think I said to him, sometimes I get in my car, it doesn't start.
Yeah.
It's supposed to start. But
it's supposed to.
He goes. He thought about it. He goes, "Well, one time the fuse was out. I remember the fuse was out of the fuse box a little bit. It was sticking out. So we just called Houston, and they said, just push it back in. We pushed it back in, and it took off."
Wow.
Yeah.
But you got to think, you know what? Even if I die here, I will be remembered forever.
Yeah.
Have you read the letter that Richard Nixon had prepared to read to the American people and humanity?
No.
If Neil and Buzz and Michael Collins hadn't been able to make it back?
No, he wrote it?
He had it ready?
Nixon wrote it.
Well, I don't know who wrote it.
He sent it to you?
He didn't send it to me, but it's a short little speech. It's very moving. Here's the speech Nixon would have read.
Wow.
Fate has ordained that the men who went to the moon to explore in peace will stay on the moon to rest in peace. These brave men, Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin, know that there is no hope for their recovery, but they also know that there is hope for mankind in their sacrifice. Everything was planned out. A clergyman should adopt the same procedure as a burial at sea, commending their souls to the deepest of the deep, concluding with the Lord's Prayer.
Wow. It's such a great letter. I bet he was hoping that maybe they didn't make it back.
Look at the slope, by the way. I'm actually taller than you right now.
I know, and look at the sun's coming out. It's kind of nice.
And the sun's coming out.
Do you remember the first celebrity you ever saw?
Yeah, I do. Jada Pinkett Smith. Wow. And I saw her get out of a car and go into the building, and I was like,
that's her.
Nothing will ever be the same.
I am always curious about the idea of a soulmate.
Uh-huh.
What are the odds of somebody meeting their soulmate?
Right.
In their exact geography, where they live?
Look, this isn't a scientific question. I have personal opinions on it.
Yeah.
You want to get really personal.
Sure.
I don't think you have a soulmate, but I think that almost anyone can become your soulmate. You grow together.
Right.
Your roots entangle, and if there were just two people left on the planet, you could realize, and it would feel like you were left for a reason, because you would grow together.
That's right. That's right. But I think there might be somebody somewhere on the planet that is really close to being your soulmate, but is not,
But I've never met them.
You'll never meet them. But they have so much in common with you, and they're stimulating for you, and you're attracted to them.
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I can't meet everyone, though.
No, you can't.
There are so many people, and...
But do you think anybody has actually met that person? They happen to cross paths?
The best, most suited person for them.
Yeah.
It's just such a subjective thing.
You're married?
I'm married. Been married... I can't hesitate. I've been married since 2016, so that means it's going to be 3 years.
Wow.
In
Kids?
In July. Kevin. I have not said this publicly at all. This is going to be the first time.
You're announcing something on my show for the first
I'm
time.
announcing something on your show. It's
Wow,
the
this
spot
is the
for big
first.
announcements.
This is...
My wife is pregnant.
Wow.
We are having a baby.
This is a big announcement.
It's a
here.
big scoop.
Congratulations.
It's a big scoop. Thank you so much.
That is
It's
fantastic.
phenomenal. It's frightening.
It is frightening,
The due
isn't
date
it?
is August, and we know what the sex will be.
Wow. What? Do you tell
Guess.
us?
Give me a guess.
I would say my chances are 50% of getting it right, right?
Yep, I would say so.
I'm going to say, well, let's see. Were you a hound dog growing up?
What's a
Were you a
hound
big
dog?
ladies man?
What do you think?
I don't know how to answer that.
The answer is no. But how would that
Okay, so
affect...
then it's going to be a boy.
It's a girl.
What? My
It's a
theory
girl.
is proved wrong.
I guess so. Your theory might need some work, but yeah. So August, it'll be coming.
That's great. How do you feel about that? Are you scared?
You know what? I haven't felt a lot of fear yet, but I have felt almost a weird sense of relief. This is the strangest thing. You really do get a taste of immortality.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. I'm thinking, all right, so this is my life. All right, before my wife was pregnant, I'm like, this is my life. I'm going to make videos. I'm going to learn things and read books, and then I'm going to die.
Right.
But now, with the kid coming, it's like, whoa, there's a whole childhood they're going to go through.
Yes.
And I think back at mine, and there's so many stages, and it seems like it was so long ago, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm going to see that all happen again?
It's the best.
Wow.
It's the best.
There's so much time, so many things in my life left. Not that you have to have kids to feel those things, but, geez, I mean...
Did you also feel like it's good to have a kid because it carries on your bloodline and somehow you're alive, you're still existing in the universe?
I don't care so much about the DNA. It
Yeah.
would be nice to have people around that like remember me.
Yeah.
Can say nice things like
Talk
now,
about you,
Yeah, like hey, I knew Michael and he didn't smell that bad. The thing that's scary, not scary, but weird to think is that this isn't a miniature me. It's not a miniature my wife. It's like a stranger with its own personality that we only get to discover as it does.
I know it.
So it
Oh.
might hate the things that I love. It might think that I'm lame. And it would be wrong to think that. But it might. And then I just have to be like, well,
That's so exciting. Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you.
I'm so happy for you guys.
thank you.
That's fantastic. If you guys want to subscribe, click this button right up here.
Click it. Yeah. And you got to push that bell icon. Right?
The notification
The
thing.
notification
Exactly.
thing. That really means you're subscribing and will receive their stuff. And then there'll be like the super bell.
Yeah.
Be sure to click this, and then it'll just be like download my YouTube app just for me.
Thank you, Daddy-to-be Michael Stevens. Congratulations. And he announced it here on our hike first. That is so cool. Man, that was a great hike. I feel so educated. I have so much information crammed into my head right now. I don't know how long it'll last, but right now, I feel pretty smart. Thanks for joining my hike. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll catch you next time. Happy trails.